Alright, up next we have the Shattered Sword. We have the starter box here. We have Isabu, Durand, the Ogre, Purifiers, the special Dark Space,
Fiametta,
Sebastian Cross and Rook, the Relic Knight, the Paragons, and the Swordsworn. Alright, let's open up the starter box and see what's inside. We've got the standard mat now. We've seen this colored specific for the faction. Tokens. Got your mini rulebook, which will be in all the starter sets. All your cards, your deck, and all the minis.
already started doing some assembly here in this box. So we'll start with Francis and his relic, or his Esper I should say. For the most part, Francis came with all in one assembly except for his sheath, his head, and that was it. So he has 3 pieces in total. Simple assembly, pretty clean cut.
Very nice looking. A lot of intricate little details here and there. And here's a cipher.
Yeah, and that his bird came in 2 separate pieces with the tail section operating as a stand as well. And again, simple and easy cleanup, nothing to worry about, great detail on the wings and the feathers.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have our Swordsworn. These guys were entertaining to say the least. The capes are amazing in production. And you can see they're not glued together. But the challenge on these guys is be very careful when you're matching up their arms. Pre-slot everything.
Yes, it's always good on these boxes to do a dry fit.
The only challenging one is the one holding the weapon, the rifle. That's a single piece that actually is both arms put together, so be very careful. You can see I've got a bend mark right in the middle of it from where I was fitting it in.
Alright, and lastly, what do we have here?
We have 2 Paragons. These guys were a treat to put together. Very simple, very clean on everything. Both arms came separate, the head came separate, the shoulder pads. You have both their jetpacks, the shield, and you can see these additional pieces of armor for their back.
Let's get a close look at that shield.
I did have to use a heat gun on their lances since those were warps just due to their size in the production.
Nice big looking lance though.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And now get into the other box. Get into Sebastian Cross.
And there's Rook.
We have our knight and his little cipher. Some body pieces here for the relic. And take a look at that. That's just the shoulder pad, but it's got a lot of detail underneath it. His shattered sword. A lot of embossing there on that shoulder pad. A lot of tiny little details all mixed out around this and the main body itself. Looks like it's going to be an interesting centerpiece for your army. All right, let's move on to the next. We have Dark Space.
Femeta.
I'll let you say that name. What's color?
Sailor Moon, essentially. Or not.
She's not Sailor Moon.
She's not Sailor Moon, Sailor Moon. She's probably my favorite.
She's Sailor Dark Space.
Yeah, the detail on her is just outlandish, what they've managed to pull off. Fully assembled except for the arm. Her hair back here was an individual piece. This arm as well, and her one leg.
Nice little pose.
And her staff, when assembled, I'll have her like that.
Very cool. And she's unique for the Shattered Sword. All right. Up next, we have the Purifiers. A lot of little fiddly bits. Swords and legs and whatnot. And we have the Purifiers themselves, our ballerina sword princesses. Looks to be a very melee class.
That's all the Shattered Sword, to be honest.
Alright. Now we get Isabu, Durand.
Another model that I've assembled most of the way in prep for painting. She came in a total of 4 pieces. No, I missed one. 5, sorry. Her hair, the back of her skirt, and both her arms.
Nice looking sculpt. Very dynamic with the hair. Very cool looking sword. Alright, lastly we got the big ogre.
And
Howler.
2 uniques.
When they call them the ogres, they mean it. Big, nice chunk of plastic here. A lot of filigree everywhere. Not too bad on the flash and sculpt, or the mold lines. Big gritting face there. Check out the maul he has. It's gonna bust somebody in the face. And then we have Hawa. Very cool looking lance here. A lot of little details. Nice shoulder pads. Some shoulder pads we haven't seen in other games. They obstruct. Very cool looking shield.
Lots of filigree on everything with this guy.
All in all, what do you think of this faction?
I love the detail, and the armor is going to be a treat to paint with how it's very blocked out in its colors, and the design on it I think was done very well, and I can't wait to see him done up in lots of blues and whites and silvers.
Alright, we're going to move on to the next. Be right back.